Guys, what's up? I'm Chelsea. Welcome back to my channel. So today is going to be a hair tutorial, which I'm excited. I haven't done anything to do with hair in a really long time, just because I don't really know why. Also, if you guys could see the pilling that is happening on this tank top right now. And yeah, I don't really know why. I just haven't really done a hair tutorial in a while. And I literally continually, every day, I always get questions about my faux locks. I think also because, well, I made a faux lock video before, and yes, there are a ton of faux lock videos out there, but I think even when I was trying to figure out how to do them, some questions weren't being answered, so I was like, well, why don't I just make a video on doing it. It's my first time figuring it out, so I kind of wanted to figure out with you guys together. And since that day, since I think I had faux locks in before that video for 3 weeks, so since that time last year, I've just had them in. I've obviously changed the color a little bit, but my afro has not been out in almost 2 years. With faux locks, I had questions, and I obviously went to YouTube to figure out how to do it. So I did faux locks in the beginning. The very first time I had them, it was because I had just come out of Senegalese twist with Kanekalon hair, and I wanted more of the lock look, but obviously I did not want to lock my own hair. So then I did faux locks with Kanekalon hair. Never ever again. I will never do it. If you like to do it with Kanekalon hair, you go and Coco, you do your thing. But for me personally, it does not work well with my hair type. It just makes my hair so dry, and it makes it break off. It's just awful, and they're a nightmare to take out. So I was like, okay, how do I get this look but with some other type of material? I fell down the rabbit hole, of course, YouTube, like all of us do, and I found faux locks, and that you could do them with yarn. And I was like, okay, well, yarn makes sense because it's a really soft material, and I learned from my friend who's Haitian. Shout out to my Haitians out there, you guys are freaking amazing. And she let me know that, like, there's been a long-standing history where beautiful men and women in Haiti have been doing this for like hundreds of years. So I did my research and I looked into that, and just that as a cultural thing is so beautiful. So I learned from that actually it helps maintain moisture, it helps keep the hair protected, obviously, because it's not only braided with yarn, but it's wrapped with yarn, so it's free from all the free radicals that fly around in the air, especially in small heavy cities like LA and New York. I'm in New York. There's so many free radicals that are, one, bad for your skin, but also for your hair, and I think it's something that people don't really realize. So I started with faux locks, and I did browns. I did a brown that was reminiscent to my hair color. It was a little bit more red undertoned, and I had like pops of like creams and a taupe in there. And then from there I was like, wait, that's not me. It was too basic for me. I needed to do a color that represented me, which is gray. And gray has always been a color that gray, blacks, and white. Gray, blacks, and white have been colors I've always gravitated towards, just for aesthetic purposes. It also goes along with my personal style. So I first started with 3 shades of gray. It was at the side or the side, but it was like light, medium, dark, and then I went with the half and half. So that's where I am today. When I first started 2 years ago, and I had like I just grew out of my TWA, cute size fro. When I would stretch my hair, maybe one part, like probably the back or the upper crown area, would be like down to here, and I was so excited with stretch. But of course, with shrinkage, you let it go and it sprung all the way up, and I really wanted to give my hair a chance to grow. So when I first started my faux lock journey, I guess, my afro stretch was about to, like, most of it was about to here. The longest part was probably about, not even this long, it was like probably about these two, probably about to here, but most of it was just about here. Now my hair, I'm gonna have to say now, has grown all the way down to like here. It's right about like chest length, and it's been crazy. It's been really awesome. And also a ton of people have questions, so I'm gonna answer some of the most general questions that I get about my hair and about faux locks in general. Question from Alexis, I don't know if you want me to read your last name, but the question is, can you wash your hair like the roots? Yes, you can wash your hair. You wash your hair the same intervals that you would normally wash your hair. The only difference is this is yarn, so it just absorbs a lot of moisture, and it holds on to it. So you literally have to wring out your locks. That's probably the only difference. What I tend to do is if I don't want to wet my locks completely, I will like pull them up into a loose bun so that way I can like grab it in the shower, and then I will add shampoo and rinse it out. I always use only the pads of my fingers, not my nails, because I don't want to disrupt the roots too much. So I use the pads of my fingers and I really like get in there and scrub the roots the best of my ability and make sure I really get to the center of your forehead. I think people kind of forget that. And all up the back, rinse that out, and while I'm rinsing it out, I'm just like holding up my ponytail so that part doesn't get wet, since at the very end my hair is not even there. So there's no point of getting that wet. It's just a little bit more work for you to dry that off. And then again, squeeze, you know, I'll put conditioner in, and then I will go through and really use the pads of my fingers to moisturize and get that in there and really try to soak as much of my roots as possible, and then go in, rinse that out. So yes, you can wash your hair normal as you do. Did you dip your yarn in boiling hot water afterwards? No. So for yarn locks, faux locks, if you're using yarn, you do not need to dip it, which is what you traditionally would do with Kanekalon hair. You would braid, or twist, or lock, and then to seal the end so it doesn't unravel with Kanekalon hair, you dip it in boiling hot water, it seals the ends, and you're good to go. With faux locks, you need a lighter, so you're gonna braid it or twist it or wrap it as far down and as long as you want it, and then you cut it, and at the ends you would light it with the lighter, and then you simply just roll so that way it seals the end. That's how you get the black tips. People think I add them on. No, it's just what happens when you burn yarn. How many packs of yarn did you use? Okay, so the packs of yarn are going to depend on two things. How much hair you have. Actually it depends on three things. How much hair you have, how thick you want the entire mass of your hair to be, if you want thin locks, if you want thick locks, and how many colors you're using. I use 2 colors, so I always try to get, this is the 1 pound roll compared to the original size roll. I always say if you can see the 1 pound roll and the color you like, get the 1 pound, and you should honestly be good to go. You probably won't need any more than this. When it comes to the standard size rolls, which is this one, I would get 2 just to be on the safe side, because some yarn, like this light yarn, is thinner in density than this dark yarn. So I actually use 4 strands of this light yarn and only 3 strands of the dark yarn, just so that each lock looks even, and then like one side doesn't look way thinner and one side looks thicker. If you want really, really thin locks, really thin ones, and a lot of them, I would say 3 to 4 packs easily. If you want really big chunky ones and they're short, you could go with the 1 pound roll, or I would say 2 packs of the original size. This is the #1 question, I think, more so than like how do you wash your hair. It's how long did it take? When I first put in yarn locks, remember this is like, I redo these every 3 weeks, so I'll go over that. But the very first time I put the gray all in, it took me about 22 hours when I just sat down, popped on, like, I watched like 7 movies or something, or like a couple shows and movies, and I just started twisting. But it took about 22 hours. Once you have them in, then you will redo individual ones as they grow out. So for me, I redo individual ones once every 3 to 4 weeks. Sometimes I can push it to 5. If I push it to 5, then I start getting roots like this, which is crazy. Do you see how much new growth? This is all new growth, all this. That is insane, and that's from me being lazy and not redoing them as often as I should. So yeah, I do redo them, the individual ones, once every 3 to 4 weeks. I do not redo my whole head all at one time. That would be crazy, and I don't have time for that. So it's always best to, once you get the style in, then you have the freedom to redo individual ones as you see fit. Apologies if the lighting looks a little bit different. I actually just got a brand new camera, literally in between filming this. So I'm really excited. I got the Canon 70D. But yeah, so I'm still trying to like work through it and work it out. Yes, autofocus. Very excited. My last camera did not have autofocus. My vlog camera does, but my last filming camera did not, so yay. Another question that people ask is damage. And they ask about damage. And does this damage your hair more than it would damage your hair if you use Kanekalon? Or it's a protective style. So your hair is gonna get damaged either way. So it's gonna be damaged. Your hair can get damaged if your afro is out, if your hair is out, it can be damaged, or your hair can also be damaged in a protective style. It's just trying to maintain your hair up to the best quality that it can be. And then there will be some damage here or there. I have a little bit of damage, if I'm like honest, like right here. It's like, I don't know if you can see it, with this super tiny like line of hair broke off. But that compared to the rest of my hair, the highest percentage of the difference between healthy or not healthy, the highest percentage is my hair is healthy compared to a few pieces of broken off or damaged hair. So that's just something to think about, but I mean, your hair can get damaged either way. What you will need to be able to recreate this style is, of course, like I mentioned before, yarn. So yarn, the color of your choice. Or one thing to note is you want 100% acrylic because you don't want wool. Wool will really damage your hair. Like, you do not want to put wool and wrap that around your hair. That is awful for your hair. You want to get the 100% acrylic, which is actually better for you because it also saves you more money. These are, they can go from $3 to $8 for the bundles. The 1 pounders are about $8, at least on Amazon, because like this color I have to order on Amazon. My Michaels never seems to have it. Actually, I ordered both these on Amazon. The size that's a little bit smaller than 1 pound, I think goes from like $3 to $6 depending on where you go. I always try to check Michaels first because they always have some type of discount or coupon going on. Just pull it up on your phone, the website up on your phone, click coupons, put your zip code in, you're good to go. Moisturizers of your choice. So I use 3 different ones. It's the Carol's Daughter Black Vanilla Leave-In Conditioner. I think at one point it said. And so I use this to moisten the strand. And then I use the Shea Moisture Anti-Breaking Strengthening Styling Milk. And this has yucca and plantain in it. It looks like this. And then I also use the Shea Moisture Coconut and Hibiscus Curl Enhancing Smoothie with Silk Protein and Neem Oil for thick curly hair. I do have low porosity hair, so I'm always in the market for finding things that are going to benefit my hair in that way. So if you know of actually a brand that has awesome low porosity products, please comment below and let me know, because I am always on the search to like make my hair healthier. So yarn, moisturizers of your choice. You will need, if you finger detangle, totally cool. I usually do. These brushes look so gross, so I'm like gonna hold them back here because it's super embarrassing. Comb of your choice, something obviously with a little bit of a rat tail so you can part your sections if it's the first time you're doing this. Then you will need scissors, of course, to cut the yarn and cut it at the end whenever you get to the length that you want it to be. And then I say this with caution, of course, a lighter so you can burn the yarn at the end and then roll it to seal the lock-in. So I brought you guys a little bit closer and I'm going to show you how to remove them. They're really, really simple. You just want to grab the thread, and at the end I always push the yarn just a little bit forward so it just creates a little bit of a thinner area. Clip it right above the burnt end, and then you literally just want to pull down and separate, just like that. Hold on to the part that you pulled down, and this part is the inside. I would just move that around. A lot of times you can just pull up. You can spin it. Sometimes if they've been in there for a long time, it's gonna need your assistance. Sometimes they just flip and go right back. They flip all the way up and kind of do the work for you, which is like really, really nice. But you just spin and untwist the wrap all the way up. Okay, so once you remove the outside, the twisted area, then you'll have the braid on the inside. You just go ahead and separate that, and then you'll see the end of your braid. I just unbraid it a little bit, and then I just pull up and see like it just unbraids for you, which is nice. Again, anything to save time, I'm like, yup. So here at the top, if you see this line of discoloration, that's just built up product. So you just separate that and detangle your hair as you normally would. At this point, I'm just gonna take that leave-in conditioner, really make sure, soak the whole dread, and remove any hair that was originally fallout, because it just gets stuck in there. This much hair that was fallout hair, shed hair, and then I'm just gonna re-moisturize it with the 2 moisturizers I showed you earlier. I like to make sure, at least for my hair, when I retwist my hair, I usually like the hair that, like my hair, to be really wet with product and soaked with product, because it's gonna be sitting in under yarn for weeks. So I'd rather have it something for it to get moisture from. Really make sure it soaks into the hair follicles. Sometimes I will comb through, sometimes I won't. This one I will. I'll just lightly comb through, make sure there's no shed hair that was like left in there. Before I lock the hair back up, I'm going to show you how I at least calculate how long I need my yarn strands to be. Okay, so essentially I stretch out the yarn to my personal wingspan. So I pull, stretch, and then I just pick up wherever the end is, double it up, stretch it out again, where they match, and just keep going back and forth. So I stretch out to 8 pieces because I use 4 of this one to braid and I use 4 of this color to wrap. So then you just have a loop at the end, and this is connected to the ball of yarn. So you just cut that, and this is the other side, and this is where I started. So you just don't have to cut that part. That. Here it is folded in half. I just count out 4 and put the rest of it. So here's my 4 that I'm gonna braid with. I just put this to the side for right now. And then for braiding, here is the section that we're gonna braid. Actually, before we do that, I always forgot, I always trim the ends when I take out the lock. So again, this is just ways that you can keep your hair as healthy as possible. I literally trim off the tiniest amount. Literally the tiniest amount. That was it. That's all I trimmed off. Fold your yarn in half. This is my wingspan, and I just fold it in half, like that. Match up the ends as best as you can. Take this top loop, and this loop is what you're gonna loop around the section of hair you wanna lock up. So just take the loop and pull your hair through like that, and put your finger in the middle of the loop and just twist it around the lock of hair. See that? I just twisted it, and then just start to braid. When you get to the end of the braid as much as you can, get all the ends in there as best as possible. Then you can just leave it like that. Okay, this is the part that people may get confused on and maybe hit a snag and get frustrated. If you don't wrap properly and you don't make sure that the yarn is all laying the right way, it could end up looking like a Senegalese twist, which happened to me like once or twice in the beginning. I got frustrated and then I figured it out. So this is the hair, this is the yarn that we have left over from the 8. So you just want to make sure you match up the ends as best as you can. Get them nice and straight. Perfect. So now we have 4 even ends. So you just want to take those ends and lay them in your hand just about till there. And make sure they're nice and flat across, horizontally across. Let me fix mine. So now they're flat across. So just hold that in your hand. Make sure you have like a little bit out, just so you have something to hold on to. And you want to match this part up to the root and just grab onto the braid. And then you can let the tail go. And you just want to make sure to wrap the yarn and so you want to make sure the yarn stays as flat as possible, and hold on to it with your index finger, and make sure the index finger keeps the 4 or whatever number you have nice and flat. And then that way when you wrap, the 4 stays flat. As long as the yarn that you're using stays flat as you wrap, it will look like a lock. It will not look like a twist. It's also super important you pay attention to what your lock is looking like and there's no holes, because if there's a hole, people are gonna see your hair through it, which is fine, but like, I don't want that. I want it to all look like one even color. So I always pay attention the most to any area on the lock that has hair or has the ends of the yarn like this, and make sure everything is fully covered. And again, that the wrapping yarn is staying flat, so that way it continues to look like a lock all the way down. Okay, once you've finished wrapping and you get to the desired length, you just want to take your wrap string, your wrap yarn here, tie it around your fingers. And if you have like one short one, that's okay. You can just leave that out of it and add that to the yarn that's in the middle. So yeah, you just wrap it around your fingers and tie that into a knot like that. Tighten it up, make sure it's nice and tight. Okay, there you go. So now there's a knot in it, and then super simple. Cut off the ends. And then this part, please be super, super careful. This is where you're gonna burn the end. Look at that, roll it a little bit, blow it out, and quickly roll between your palms for a couple seconds. And there you go, then you'll have a burnt end and your lock will not come out. Essentially, that's how you do yarn locks. They're super simple. You can tell the difference. Like, this is what happens to, so this gray and actually this gray are the exact same color. This is what happens when the gray gets dirty, and I've washed my hair multiple times, but it's a light color, it's just gonna get dirty. So I have to change the side a little bit more often than I have to change the side. But you know, those are the things that happen, totally fine. If you're curious about my makeup, I did a tutorial on this look. It's either live now or gonna be live, so I will post the link down below, or head over to my channel and check it out. Also, if you like this video and you like my content and you like me, it would be awesome if you could subscribe. It would be really, really helpful to me, and I would thank you so much. So essentially, yes, that is how you do yarn locks. Honestly, it's super simple. It's my favorite protective style that I've had, and this by far is my favorite. I think because I have a little bit more creative freedom with the color specifically, and also too, I can change the length of my yarn locks as much as I want and as quickly as I want. And it's really inexpensive. It's the most inexpensive, yeah, protective style that I've had. So that is it for today's video. If you have any further questions, definitely comment below. I think I hit everything, but if not, I'm happy to answer questions below. And until next time, guys.